News and AI. Can't they just get along? Hello, this is Jesse with ZBH Tech, and I came across an interesting article in The Guardian regarding AI and the pushback that news organizations are currently giving OpenAI and ChatGPT in regards to the GPTBot web crawler. And the purpose of the web crawler is to go out and scrape the latest information from websites. And there's a way that they can exclude the ability for the crawler to access their site. And this is information that OpenAI has published. And these organizations, these news organizations, have chosen to restrict ChatGPT's ability to crawl their site and pull information. I'm sure they claim issues with content and intellectual property and such. So I have some thoughts I'd just like to talk about regarding this. So as I've gone through this article and I've looked and read through it, a few different articles, a few things that come to my mind are, number one, this seems like a severe overreaction. I know that AI is new, at least it's new in regards to these large language models and the ability that AI has gained recently over the last couple of years, even though AI has been around for quite some time. But this seems like a severe knee-jerk reaction, and it's only going to hurt them. So, as we've learned from the past, in all these situations, whatever new technology has come out, you can go all the way back in history. What comes to mind for me are vehicles, automobiles. When they first came out, man, there was a big pushback, and everybody would say that this will never last, this can't function. Electricity, same thing. But something more recent, in my mind, has been when streaming came out. When you had the early days of iTunes, there was all the illegal piracy streaming technologies that had come out. And the movie industry and the music industry, they pushed back heavily. Now, of course, these businesses weren't in decline so much as news agencies are these days, but there was a huge pushback, and they had to figure out a way to make it work because the writing's on the wall. Back in the 90s, people were going to get their music via different means. People didn't really care to own the music or to own the movies. They wanted access to them when they wanted access to them. And eventually a better model came out, allowing people to stream and to enjoy their music when they wanted it without the large collections. Why buy a whole album of music if you really only want one or two or three songs? So we've learned in the past that it can be done. It just takes some innovative thinking, some smart people. So, they need to adapt. And companies that don't adapt will suffer. And they'll suffer until they figure out a way. So blocking, that's not going to solve anything. And it's new, the new way of searching. I've always said that my generation, we learned how to use a library. We learned how to use encyclopedias. We worked hard to find information. And then I had children, and they could just search. They could do Google searches, and all the information was at their fingertips. But they still had to go through web pages. They still had to work for it. At least not as much as I did in a library. But you know how it is when you search on the web. You have to go through lots of different searches, change your search terms, go through pages, find the information. There still is a certain level of work that has to be done there. Well, with AI, you just simply ask the question. You may have to rephrase it a few times, but instead of all the searching, it's right there at your right there in front of your face. So you got to know enough about what you're searching for to be able to get an idea of what is being presented to you as factual. You can't just do a search and take everything as gospel truth. But it's as big of a change for my kids as it was for me. So as our searching habits have changed, they've changed tremendously again with OpenAI, ChatGPT specifically. So that is a big change. It's a big change for people. Companies, I have I get this feeling that there's this pushback that I just can't even imagine how much it's going to hurt companies to have excluded themselves. Because, honestly, if you're going to run a race, you've got to at least be entered into the race, or there's just no chance of even finishing, whether it's first place or middle of the road type of a finish. You've got to be in the race. You've got to be in the race in order to finish. So as I've looked through this article, it's been very interesting to see the reaction. I'll go ahead and post the the link for the article so that you can view it yourself, go through it, and I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. Go ahead and comment in the comment section below, and let me know what you think of the future of news as it relates to AI. Because really, honestly, this conversation opens up a lot of other conversations about where we get our news and what is truth. Like I have a feeling I know what truth is. I believe truth are facts, but again, there are those who, that's more of a fluid thing. And so the ability to educate yourself, get your information from multiple sources, I think that helps refine a person's opinion, no matter what it is, political, just current events, religious beliefs, you name it. You've got to educate yourself in order to really form an opinion, and an opinion that you should be able to argue. If someone wants to talk about it. Now, I don't mean argue as in contentious, but the ability to effectively argue your position. And I think AI could be a great tool in regards to that, because there's so much information there now, and the progress is happening so quickly. But yeah, these are my thoughts. So go ahead and leave some comments. Let me know what you think. And thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.